pod.
But yeah,
Get it, losers. It's time to pod. No, I don't like that.
Workshop though.
Yeah, we're
Workshop.
workshopping. But like I said, we're changing it up. We're mixing it up. We want to do shorter episodes. We want to keep the audience captivating. While all we want to do is talk about Gimp is blind. But we're not going to talk about this episode, obviously, because this is a totally new day, and then we're recording at different times. All the scenery is different. Gimp, first off, I would like to, welcome back to our special guest, Mitch.
Mitch is back.
Still gay. Woo! Yahoo!
You're like, this week I've come back about 69% still gay.
Yeah.
The other, those girls be looking buzzy.
Yeah. My Thrazzy is still tired.
It's been a long 10 minutes. Hey, I want to talk about, what are you wearing?
So I'm wearing some OG Cusbot merch.
Oh, that's throwback, eh?
This is a throwback. I got this. This is a funny story because so Cusbot got some merch, and he sold some merch to everyone. Back for whatever. Anyway,
hang on. All right. So I started streaming in 2001.
Yes.
And then
22 years.
That's when I. All right. So my whole speech was, I used to play professional gaming back then.
Oh.
Anyways, no, I didn't. That was 2011. Anyways, 2021 is when I first started streaming. And then that was around August. Then by about October-ish, whenever Black Friday was, just before that, we were talking to a merch company. And then you paid them $30. They designed everything. They held it on their store. And then you just get a percentage if they used your code. So I literally just had to pay $30. They designed everything and then sold it. And then I get a percentage. Great deal, right? Black Friday, there was like a 60-something% off sale. It was huge.
Yeah, big sale.
So I bought heaps. You bought heaps. You bought some. They fucked yours.
They did.
So they spelled his name wrong.
Oh, classic.
So
I also got someone else's jumper, and they got mine, I think. And we had to swap.
Oh, yeah.
And mine was spelled wrong.
Yeah. Yes, actually I remember that. Yes, I do remember that. So two people in WA. So I swapped that for them. And so instead of Get Cougared, which was his old movie reviewer name.
Okay, yeah.
Get Cougared, right?
Okay, yeah.
Spelled it Get Couraged.
It's close.
Get some courage. It's not the worst mistake.
It's not the worst mistake.
But all right, so they did the Christmas sale. Then they did Black Friday sale. Then they did a Christmas sale. Then they did a New Year's sale. And then they did another sale. So they just kept taking the sales, all these orders. And I'm like, bros, it's been 8 weeks. Where's all our stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were just constantly taking orders, and then they ended up just refunding everybody and then cancelling orders because we're just like, all right, we'll just whatever. I got 2 shirts out of it. One with I literally can fit a full shaker in my pocket, a full Xbox controller in the front pocket.
Yeah.
It's whack.
Yeah.
I didn't get a jumper because my jumper got cancelled because a lot of the orders got cancelled.
Yeah.
And then, it was just great. But a lot of people, every time were you one of the ones that you cancelled your order and then it showed up the next day?
Yeah, so that was the story. So pretty much, yeah. So I think mine was longer than I waited. So I waited. So I kept waiting and kept waiting.
Months.
And this months. And then so I said, oh no, 1 week, that's it. I messaged them on Twitter. That's it. It hasn't showed up. So they cancelled and they refunded. So got my full refund. So that was sick. And within probably 2-3 days later, it shows up on the door. And I was like, sick, free merch. And I'm still have it in the cupboard. And it's, old Cusbot merch, the original merch.
Gee, that's definitely
OG.
fiber, eh?
So, in about 10 years, it'll be good on eBay. I'll make a good profit. Wait, he's big,
Yeah.
I'm living off his curtails.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait.
But that was sick. But speaking of gaming, all right, so this is episode. Obviously, you weren't there, Mitch, but you're going to enjoy our stories.
Yeah.
While the boys had a trip to Melbourne, it was Bro's birthday. Happy birthday, bro, for then.
Happy birthday, bro.
You're not here, so whatever.
Loser.
He's still away.
Classic.
Rude. So myself, Gimp, bro, went to Melbourne for DreamHack. So DreamHack is an expo that's held in Melbourne. It's actually held around the world. The current DreamHack is actually in Dallas this weekend, I think it is.
Okay.
Which is it's very cool. So it's very cool. And I got to attend as a creator, but not just as Cuzbot, but as Blackout GG. So the first all Indigenous content group.
Yeah.
So that's Life of Ruby and whatnot. So we had the pleasure of we named Ruby W of the Week a few episodes back. Because she has a piece of art in the National Gallery in Melbourne.
Oh wow.
And we actually went there. We saw it. We took some photos with her. Our last day we spent with it was us three, Ruby and Tika.
Yeah.
And it was seriously the best day. Like the best memory I have from the weekend is almost that day, because I got to introduce my real life best friends, Bro and Gimp, to Tika and Ruby, who are like some of my online best friends.
Yeah.
It was such a vibe. And like I said, that last day, we were just chilling, vibing, just going
Big
around.
weekend.
And it was great. Like you said, yeah. And it was so good to meet Tika and Life of Ruby. They're great people. Really lovely ladies. And it was so nice meeting them. Definitely a highlight of the weekend, just meeting those two. And and the other Blackout ladies, Looper and all that. It was great meeting those people.
Looper, Milky.
Yep, Twig as well.
Twig.
Yep, we went and enjoyed.
There was quite a few mob
Enjoyed.
there, so it was very cool.
It was very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool
Yeah.
experience.
So I'll just round up some highlights of the weekend, because it was a 3-day event. I streamed on the Friday, which was very cool. The Saturday I was in the creator studio, so I got to teach people how to stream and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to do that again on the Sunday as Blackout GG, so that was very cool. So some highlights. I got to meet some like really cool creators. Like usual, so it's a lot of the people that I look up to that I've get a lot of motivation and inspiration from, like some big Sea of Thieves streamers, heaps of IRL streamers. I got to meet Tanner. So Tanner is in the TOS girls. She's one with, have I showed you any TOS videos with Loser Fruit and stuff? Like how there's all girl content group.
You've spoken about it.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it.
So yeah, Tanner is Laserbeam's sister, and she's funny. She's funny. I was having a chat, and I was like, you girls are like a huge inspiration for us with creating Blackout. And she was like, I've literally got goosebumps, like you telling me this. Like it's so cool to be able to hear that that type of stuff. And then on the Sunday, while we were watching the big streamer battle, they were playing Gang Beasts and stuff. We looked up in the corner, and Laserbeam was there.
Yeah,
You've heard of Laserbeam, yes?
Yeah.
So Laserbeam is like a huge Australian content creator, has his own skin in Fortnite, doing a lot of videos with Sidemen and stuff. He's like his real name's Lannon. If you watch the Sidemen video, he's like very outlandish. Like he just like says some crazy stuff. He's very just like,
He puts the Aussie out there.
yeah. He's basically an entire representation of Australia.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the Sidemen.
He's crazy. He's so funny. He's just like when they're it's a rabbit hole I won't get into.
Yeah.
But we're with our little adopted nephew over there, and I was like, "Do you wanna go meet Laser?" Yeah. He was like, yeah." So I was like, "Come on, I've never met Laserbeam before."
No.
And I basically we get up, I walk straight over there, and I was like, "Oh, hey Tanner," because she was obviously brother and sister, and I was like, "Hi Tanner, it's cousin." She's like, "Yeah, I met you from yesterday, whatnot," and I was like, "Oh, the little Neff, can we get a photo with you, Laser?" And he's like, yeah, no worries. And I was wearing my roadmap, the playmat suit. And he was like, "Man, I love that suit." He goes, "I reckon we need to lay out the whole office with it." So I was having a good 10-15 minute conversation with Laserbeam. So it was very cool. Very inspirational stuff. And the young lad literally gets his iPad and is trying to take a selfie with Laser. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I was like, this is adorable, right? And and they were like, "Oh, we'll take some actual proper photos." And then apparently the young Neff was in a Discord with all his mates and, "Oh, I met Laserbeam and everything." And like for me to be able to give him that sort of story really meant something to me, to be able to like help.
So surreal. Yeah.
There was like at PAX, one of the bro's brother, he really wanted to meet Loser Fruit. And I had just met them, and I was just talking to them and stuff. And I walked back up there like I was their best friend. And I was just like, "Oh, they couldn't get in. They really want to get a photo with Loser Fruit." And I remember seeing this chick's, because she was the one that told them that they couldn't get any more photos. That was the cutoff. They were the cutoff that they couldn't get any photos. So they were devastated.
Lucky.
So they're like, "Oh, but if you go off to the side, you might be able to get a photo, right?" So we're off to the side. And as she was talking to Loser Fruit's boyfriend, Marcus, because I was chatting with him because I'd just chat to him for like 20 minutes earlier. I was like, "Oh, they wanted to get a photo, yada, yada." And then I saw her name and I was like, because Lufu was by herself. And I was like, "Hey, Em." And she looked at me like I was pretending like I knew her.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, she's by herself. Can we get a photo? And she was like, all right, good. So I literally grab him and just yoink him over there, and he was like stunned, like taking a photo with Elizabeth. And it was like the funniest thing. He goes, "Oh fuck you, I wasn't ready for that." Which leads me into this guy at DreamHack.
That's gonna be the end. That's the loser moment. Come on. For the jumper. Kind of. I guess you could do it.
All right.
Okay.
So on the Friday,
Okay.
there
That's when
was
you got there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I after streamed and whatnot. There's heaps of cosplays there, heaps of cosplay events.
Yep.
Sure.
And I was talking to this this female cosplayer who was dressed as the Dark Magician Girl.
One of my favorites.
It was
Yes.
sick outfit.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. What's your socials so I can just tag it in the stories and whatnot? And she's like, oh yeah, it's Kate Sarkisian.
Yeah, it's tough to say, but it's cake.
Kate Sarkisian, right? And I was like, do you mean the one with 508,000+ followers? She goes, oh yeah, that's me. I cosplay for a living.
Yeah.
And I'm
She's
like,
massive.
excuse me?
Yeah.
She cosplay for a living, has 500,000 followers.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Yep.
And she was like, yep, she's like, I was at Armageddon in New Zealand. I'm doing accents, so don't cancel me. I was at Armageddon, New Zealand, and then they were like, because I'm from the States, she's from Las Vegas. Well, that's where she residing at the moment. She's from Las Vegas. I'm talking like I'm from Texas.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn.
You're mixing
And
accents
then she's just like, and then they were like, do you want to just go over to DreamHack in Melbourne? And I was like, you are 100% from the States.
Yeah.
But like, she was so nice. She was so cool. And I was like, and as I was following her, I was like, Niels. I was like, oh, my best mate follows you. He's gonna be so jealous. She's like, I'm like, are you here all weekend? Because she's like, yeah. Tomorrow I'm gonna be wearing my female version of Star Fox.
Yeah.
Which was very cool as well. So I got to see her again, but obviously couldn't find Gimp to get a photo with her until the third day.
Okay.
On the Sunday, she was dressed as like what are they called?
Sith Lord.
Like it was a Sith Lord. I was trying to think of what the Inquisitor, almost like a Sith Lord Inquisitor type of thing. It was sick. So we're chatting, we got some photos and whatnot, and I was like, "Oh, Kate, do you take photos of stepping on people?" And she's like, "Oh, sure." And I was like, "Cool, Gimp." Get on all fours. I throw him to the ground. He's just like, what's going on? And I'm like, you get stepped on, bro.
Legit, she stepped on me, bro. I was thinking she should kind of like put a foot on there. She put some pressure on it. I was like, oh crap. Like,
he was like,
trying to stay up. It's like pushing down.
I was like, I'll be honest.
I was like, damn.
I really wanted a photo like that, but I was like, it's very on brand for the Gimp. I don't want to steal his thunder.
Yeah.
He was wearing this.
I was wearing his jumper.
She was like, oh, that's a very cool jumper. I was like, yeah, it's mine. She's like, of course it is. Because I was wearing like jumpers all weekend and stuff.
Yeah. I did borrow his jumper.
Yeah. Well, that's Elizabeth. We'll get back to that. But yeah, so tell me, I talked a lot. Tell me about your experiences at DreamHack.
So mine was, like I said, I flew over Bro, so we had that was a good time. And yeah, I spent a lot of weekends sort of following you around, watching you in your element. Like I said, you were very good at this stuff, getting around, socializing, going up to people, and just instantly, just like I said, with laser beam, just instantly slotting yourself in and going away. And it was amazing to watch. And like I said, got to meet all the blackout chicks. That was amazing, great time. We went to Fortress. That was a very fun nightclub to go to in Melbourne.
So it's not quite a club. It's more of a pub type of thing, but it's for gamers. Yeah. So you can actually book out areas where you play like Smash Bros. Or like play the PlayStations or Xboxes or the Switches and stuff. Yeah. But you have to book them. And then there's an area to the side where it's just all computers. Yeah. So you play computer games with everybody for a couple of hours or whatever it is. There's an arcade part, so I imagine a little bit of time zone, but there's drinks, so it's like a pub as well. You get a heap big feeds there. Then upstairs is like an esports arena type of thing. So there's like 2 sections, like one here, one there, like how this is set up
Okay.
for like gamers, like so like 5v5 type of thing, and there's like like it's sick.
Big gamer bar.
And they've
Oh
just
my
opened
God.
they've just
Great.
opened one up in Sydney as well, but the Melbourne one's sick.
Yeah.
And you got that one, and then you got GG Easy, so it's more of a like an underground
yeah.
gamer bar. So like I've been on the TV like because you can put people's streams.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when I'm streaming, like sometimes, especially Lupa's very like she's very sick. Like she goes, oh, throw on Cuzbot and stuff. Like
So this is like a little dingy, no, it's not dingy, but it's a little underground sort of more
basement type.
basement, sort
Okay.
of basement one. But it was I actually
Vibes
read
are cool.
I read the vibes are high in that one, that place, and they have fancy cocktails for gaming cocktails.
Okay.
So big list of gamer
There's one
cocktails.
called Gamer Boy Bathwater.
Yeah, Game Boy.
So it's like imagine like a boba,
Yep.
but it's like jellies.
yeah,
Sure.
So jellies are like alcohol and that, and like the one I liked the most at the first drink we had the slurp juice.
Oh,
The
slurp juice, that was
juice
sick.
was so good.
So it's
like, I
like
could have
they're
sat.
all based off things.
Yeah, and that's Fortnite. And like I could have literally sat all night just drinking slurp juice. I
But
couldn't afford it. Like
they're
the
like
bank-
$20.
The bank would have been down.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're like-
The card would have got declined.
You get like one or two, cool, and then you just
Yeah.
go back to the normal drinks.
Especially like if you're buying a round, it's like $60. Oh, what, the hell? What are you talking about? We only have one round, right? But that slurp juice was so good. I could have just sat all night drinking that.
That's
I
why
would have been pissed, but
Yeah.
it was good. But that was really fun. Like enjoying that. Just the whole experience because like this is sort of my first sort of like convention that I've sort of been to. I think I don't really many go to those ones, but
They're kind of addicting that way.
I can't wait to go back to like we got PAX coming up.
October.
You know, and we'll go to one here, Pixel.
Pixels, which
You know-
is in August. So like I'm attending that one as. So I've been announced as someone. It's called like Twitch Pals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So it's
yeah,
kind of like
those.
a creator type of thing. So yeah, I'm going to be doing some stuff or some panels or something
Yeah.
like that and it's here in Showgrounds.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So looking forward to that. But they're great, and they are addicting. It's a whole thing. Like you go away for the weekend and you just meet all these people, and then you go back home. And it's like, oh, I'm exhausted.
So I'm
It's like
I'm
the
gonna
PAX
fly.
They call it the what would you call it? The DreamHack hangover and that. But this time was everyone got sick.
Basically
got sick.
con crud, right?
Yeah.
So after PAX, I was a little bit run down. No worries. That was in October. Game Expo. I was pretty much just sleep deprived and hungover kind of drunk.
Sure.
And then this time, the whole weekend, I was like, I thought, because I was so go, the first day I had 2.5 hours sleep. Hang on. Huge winner moment. So I didn't fly with these guys because obviously I'm upper class.
Loser.
I flew Qantas.
Okay.
This body is a Qantas body.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Not.
Can't handle the Jetstar.
Who'd you fly with? Jetstar.
Jetstar.
Sorry, let me just raise my nose. I had the whole row to myself. So I had, and they come with pillows and blankets. I was full spread out, sleeping like a babe, like a princess. I'm
That's good.
sorry, like a king. And I'm like, full spread out. There's like people everywhere.
The only problem with this story is that for the whole week or 2 weeks before, he's led me on believing that he's coming with me and bro. So he's led me on, but he hasn't told me. Told bro. Hasn't told me that he's flying Qantas, which is at a different time. So I'm organising on the day. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm going to rock up at this time and I'm going to get a lift over with your mum. I'm leaving my car at your place. Oh, yeah, no. I'm leaving 2 hours before you. I'm not flying with you, bro. What do you mean you're not flying with me?
So I
Yeah,
caught
yeah,
up with
yeah.
bro for lunch that week
Sure.
or the week before and told bro that I'm not flying with them.
Yeah.
I said I booked my flights because I asked them what time their flights were and they're like, cool. I was like, cool, no worries. And just booked different flights because they're flying Jetstar and Virgin.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't fly them. I fly Qantas.
Yeah.
His body's a Qantas fly.
I love Qantas flight.
Oh, right.
For an extra little dollar. I think I probably paid, honestly, maybe $100 more
Oh, okay. No, then I wouldn't do that.
total.
I think.
Oh, okay.
So my flight was at 11:45. Their flight was at 2 a.m.
All right, I'm probably
Well,
on the
he gets there.
Qantas
He got
flight
it.
for
Yep.
sure.
Because I had to make sure, in case of anything, I had to make sure I was there because I
Yeah.
was streaming at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
So
So you're
ma-
getting off the plane and then streaming, basically.
basically, so I got there at
Ah.
like 5 or 6 in the morning. Got to the place, they didn't let me check in, so I was so mad. And then
I mean, fair.
went straight to when those boys rocked up. Went straight to DreamHack, got ready, streamed. It was very cool.
Yeah.
But I basically had 2.5 hours sleep. And then obviously we went out drinking. And then the whole weekend we were just like, we'd go out, everything else. But all weekend I was like, I'm so run down. I'm a smashed day.
It's like, yeah.
I think I got sick instantly.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize. But in saying this, I wasn't a carrier because I was hanging out with them two,
Yeah.
the blackout people, Tika, nobody caught COVID except for me.
Yeah, it's just him. So someone else he was hanging out with.
So I caught COVID from someone. And then on the way back, I got a whole road to myself. It was sick.
Our flight was pretty empty, so we could have had a whole road to ourselves. But like,
so I went back to the guy and I was like, hey man, do you have any snacks? And he's just like, oh, do you want some nuts? He goes, oh, hang on, do you want another meal? And I was like, oh, hell yeah. He literally gives me 2 meals. So he gives me a hot meal, a cold meal.
Yeah, yeah.
Then what else did he hand me? He literally handed me a whole thing. He goes, do you want some chocolates? He hands me like all the like Lindt bowls and some Tim Tams and stuff. And then and he gives me a couple drinks. He goes, just go sit down. I'll bring them to you. It was like this. And I was like, this is the best experience I've ever had.
Oh my god.
Worth. Because obviously we kind of should get your meals and
Yeah.
drinks and stuff all for free. That's why I do it. I pay for the space, the entertainment, and I want to feed. 3.5 hours, but you're like, I'm nearly 35.
Just soft, all right.
All right.
Just soft.
Yes. All right. My body's a temple. I'm going to feed it with whatever I want, but if I'm flying for 3.5, 4 hours, I'm riding in style.
And when you're saying feeding, I mean he's talking about 4 monsters on a Saturday.
Oh, so the monsters were free?
Oh, Jesus.
So the monsters were free on the weekend, so I had a lot.
Yeah.
But I was combating the sickness, which I didn't realize.
so.
So I'm like, man, I'm dead, eh?
Yeah.
So that was big.
Because that's it, because you rocked up on Saturday, we're at Fortress, and I'm sitting there, and like, you sort of got me in, you came in sort of like a whirlwind, you're sort of chatting to everyone, doing his things, grabbing 2 drinks. He's like, yeah, this is how you do it. You gotta have 2 drinks, otherwise you taste too long to get another one. I was like, okay, cool. Good life lesson.
Like
Jim
Jim Carrey and Yes Man.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've never had Red Bull before.
But then like within like from an hour, he just come back and he's like, God, I'm done. He was cooked. Like, he like that, and it's like, I was like, all right, let's get another drink then before we go. And he's like, we're getting another 2 drinks, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm done. And bro sort of rocked up, and then he's like, yeah, nah, we're done. We're gonna go. So we left, which was cool. Like, we had a great time. I had a few drinks, and like it was just great. Met everyone again. Tika was there, and a few other people. Twig was there, and all that. So it was great. But yeah, you
the scooter rides.
You were struggling. That's for sure.
Because yeah, if I wasn't sick,
we would have stayed out.
It would have been that weekend would have been dead.
Exactly.
Like it would have been wild. But like a lot of people got sick.
Yeah. I mean,
real fast.
Proximity.
Yeah. Well,
like real fast. People dropping like flies.
That time, I think even Saturday saying someone
like Komomo. Like I saw him that day. He ended up in the hospital with influenza A.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I think you mentioned him that Saturday night. He was feeling pretty bad. Like Jeez. So but it was a great weekend. I loved every second of it.
Packs will be cool. A little bit more prepared and stuff.
Yeah. We're a bit more ready for it now. We might book our flights. So
a little bit earlier.
Travel together and travel in a decent time. Ideally.
If you come if you fly Qantas, we're going together.
Enough, I can afford Qantas. We're not booking last minute.
Oh, but I use points as well, so that brought down the cost.
Yeah, I got no points.
But that was from my Game Expo. I fly Qantas, so I got points. But yeah,
that was good. It was a great weekend. I had a great time.
It was sick.
Sick.
So yeah. The spinning chairs at the gallery.
Oh, yeah.
So there's these chairs, right?
Okay.
I don't even know if you call
It's
them
kind of like
chairs,
an eggshell type of thing. So we're sitting in them, and you're kind of like, whoa, like spinning around like this.
Rock.
And then obviously I had to be the hero, so I was doing like real fast because I was like, ooh. And then as soon as everybody was trying it, they all looked at me, and I ate shit. I was like full out. I flew out, and it was like I felt like I just like flew out, and then it was just a, and I was like, I almost winded myself.
It was dead. It was hilarious.
There's a photo of I have to find it, but there's a photo of like sort of bro, and he's got his foot against it. It looks like he's kicking me around, and I'm like, but yeah,
they were good fun.
Yeah. It's the convention centre, so this time not Rod Labor's because we went to Rod Labor's.
Rod Labour. Yeah. I was quite surprised because he wasn't quite sure where it was at, but yeah, Rod Labour. Which was good because like where we were staying was sort of just like where we stayed was like it wasn't the fanciest place, but it was just good because it was in the middle of everything.
I didn't like where we stayed.
I mean, it wasn't the greatest place.
Oh, the toilet in my thing.
No,
I managed to swindle the solo room. I mean,
you got the solo room. I don't know how because it's bro's birthday weekend, but
you got to be humble enough, and then you managed to swindle it. And he's like, "Oh, you should give it to bro's birthday." I was like, "No, he had a chance."
Literally.
So
I got there and I was like, yeah, should just go for this weekend.
I use the toilet and then I'm like, where's the flush jar? And then I'm like, I look on the counter, and there's the two buttons.
Really weird.
So I imagine the toilet's here, but then the two buttons are like on the counter, just like 1 space 2. And I was like, what is this? It was weird. Like, they were so detached from everything.
Okay.
Because it wasn't like where normal toilets where the flushes are on the top.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, because where you have the kitchen counter. Imagine just a normal kitchen counter like this, and then there's just 2 random buttons. The toilet just randomly there.
But are you looking at the buttons?
Yeah, but like I'd put my thing there, like I'd put some toiletry bags and stuff like this. So I didn't even notice, like they were out clear as day, but I didn't notice them because I didn't expect them to be there. And I was like, what the? That kind of annoyed me.
It was weird.
It was very
so
trippy.
weird.
Yeah.
And even our bathroom was weird. Like, just the shower was just like tripping me up. So, yeah, it wasn't great, but the location was great, is more what I'm saying. Because it was in the middle of everything.
I stayed in worse.
Yeah, basically, the location was great because like we spent a lot of the weekend scootering everywhere, electric scootering.
Have you tried the electric scooters?
No, I've seen them all around.
So the orange ones? So I was like, alright, boys, I got this. We can get home. I didn't got this.
Not the first. This was the first trip, so it was on the Friday. No, it was either the Friday or
Saturday. We're flying around, and then we're like, oh, we'll just try this way. And then all of a sudden, we had to go down these stairs because took us the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'm like, we do need to get down there.
Yeah.
Oh, which one?
No, I'm talking about Friday. So Friday we get there, and the weather's not good on Friday. So it's a bit overcast, and it'd be rainy and windy. And this is the first trip, so we're going up into the city.
We're going to Gigi Easy.
Yeah, Gigi Easy. So the nightclub. So it's at night time, and like we just had dinner, 5 guys. Oh, I still think about that hot dog.
He had 5 guys in his mouth.
Okay.
In his thrusty.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but the hot dog was awesome, all right. Anyway, but okay, off topic. So then so we get the scooters, and Josh is all confident. He's out front. He's like, yeah, boys, we got this. Let's go. It's flying along. All of a sudden, deadly little bush of leaves, and he literally so close. He just this little pile of leaves, and he's coming up to it.
It was one leaf.
It was like 2 leaves.
It was like rain, and I've gone to brake, and Tokyo drifted it. Right.
Literally,
like I skidded. I jumped off it and stopped.
Yeah.
I literally had to step off it to stop because the whole thing basically went like that.
Oh my god.
Because I braked on a leaf.
Because he broke the leaf, and obviously the
like,
leaves just kept sliding.
Oh,
He's just sliding, and he's just sliding. Luckily, he did jump off because he was going to stack it.
Yeah, I wasn't stopping. I
But
had to stop myself.
that was hilarious. But yeah, he got us lost plenty of times on the scooters as
It was
well.
so much fun.
It was just like, no, this way, guys. And like, and in the end, we figured out by the end of it, like the last
If I just
day,
got an extra 20 meters straight, we would have.
we wouldn't have had to go
hang around at the lights.
downstairs. And
But we're trying to cut through, and then all of a sudden we had to go down these stairs. So we're like down these stairs. We weren't standing on them.
No.
But we were standing next to them. But it was like yeah.
But yeah, it was great. That was good fun. But yeah, so that was good.
You could always count on me for a good time. or I was gonna say, or a time.
It was definitely a time.
Yeah, it's definitely a time. Whether it was good or not. Okay, so I'm sure we're going to bore everybody with our DreamHack talk. So something serious has come up, so we're going to discuss the pod.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Mitch, for
Serious
emotional
face
support.
on.
Family.
We were talking for family. But speaking of family, Walter has decided to take a step back from the losers table.
Yep.
Just due to commitment issues.
Yeah.
A little bit of creative differences, just mainly me and him.
Yeah, between those two, beef.
It's
Not beefing, but
not beefing. To be honest, just the way that it felt was Walter didn't really like the way that the pod was going, and it was a constant battle of him feeling censored. Which obviously we apologise. We didn't want him to feel that way, but I think just to BC, he just wants to be free speech, and just he's a very outspoken guy and doesn't really have a filter. But obviously, when people hate watching me, you got to tone it down.
yeah, that's been the problem. Is like obviously you have a very public profile. You're already out there as your streamer, and that you're just getting a bit of hate. So we're just trying to scale it back a bit, and fortunately, that just didn't vibe with Walter. And
He's a big guy. Gotta let him fly.
So it's a mix of things, and like commitment. He's a FIFO worker and that.
Yeah, he's always welcome back. Like he's not banished or anything.
Like anytime he wants to come back.
It is sad to see him having to but like take a step back, but it wasn't just because of that. He has a lot of commitment issues that we can't talk about until he announces them and stuff. But he's got some very exciting stuff on the horizon with his work and personal life and stuff that will be announced very shortly. So, but no, he's still around to help us out where we need. And
But he's still one of the boys. He's still in the group chat, so he'll always be one of the boys.
he hasn't been kicked.
He hasn't been
Still a
kicked.
loser.
He's still
a loser.
Well done, we love you. You're still a loser.
And he's still always welcome to the loser table.
Giant
Anytime.
loser.
He might come back as a special guest, you know, add that value, but we'll see what happens.
But then so obviously after the trip I got COVID.
Yeah.
And then you boys got
So-
sick.
Pretty much for the last, like, obviously we haven't recorded for 2 weeks and that, so we've been a bit of a hiatus, like we said, a bit of things going with Walt, but also like straight away from coming back to DreamHack, we were sort of playing like let's record, but then like you were just COVID, obviously.
Yeah.
And also I wasn't feeling the best, like I was a bit run down. Bro sort of went unwell, and I think he was a bit the same.
So the week of, he was sick, and then he was good up there, but then it's like he caught it again.
Yeah.
It's like it just hid for the weekend
Yeah.
and then came back.
Yeah. So he sort of he gave it for the weekend, but
Yeah.
I was pretty run down as well, and then obviously for the next week, bro's been busy obviously with his work doing long hauls.
Yeah.
And that, so we haven't had a chance to record, but now we're back, and
He's been off for 2 weeks, and then I think Mitch has come on the podcast to fill that hole.
yeah,
Bro for bro.
Yeah.
Bro for
So
bro.
this is what did I call him? Damn it, my phone's over there. I had a good name for you.
Me.
Yeah. Damn, it was a bro related. Damn it.
Bro mode.
Nah. It was something to do with a replacement. But I can't. Damn it, my phone's there.
Okay, I can't.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah,
Okay,
If it's good enough, we'll post it as a story.
Yeah.
We'll leave it. Otherwise, we'll just pretend it was amazing.
But yeah, so we're trying to, like I said, we're also looking at doing different things with the podcast. Like I said, short episodes, sort of bringing in maybe a few more guests in that, because there's going to be 3 of us, and we can have a 4th guest. In that.
I'm thinking, like, a lot of the not creative differences is it's just like time management and stuff. Because like with Cuzbot and Blackout GG really being quite successful over the DreamHack weekend, my commitments to the pod, I wanted to not step away, but just reduce the duties that I was doing.
Sure.
And try and offload it onto the other guys. But we couldn't quite find
The mix.
the mix of it. And then kind of everybody was just like, Walt's just like, oh, no, I'm out. Obviously more was one. And then bro's like, oh, I'm away. And then we're just like, oh, all right, well. All right, let's just have a break. Because I was just obviously COVID and burnout and stuff. So
I think we're coming back refreshed. Like we feel much
and
refreshed.
with just new ideas, new trial and error for different things. Because obviously we love doing this.
Yes, we do.
And then I've just been listening to different pods and stuff and trying to see what works for them to see if we can apply it to what we have.
Yeah.
But one of the podcasts, I'm going to lead into this. There was a bad first date experience, and I want to get you guys
Okay.
see how you feel about this. Okay. So this guy talking to this girl in there, and he goes, obviously they plan to have a date. And he goes, I'm still keen, obviously, but just need to let you know, run something by you. I need to pick you up, but I'm going to be picking you up in the work vehicle. And then after I pick you up, we just have to go back to my work. I'm going to drop it off, and then grab my car. We go to the date, which is reasonable.
Sure.
Yeah. If you organise a date, just like, all right.
So is this date on company time? Like, why has he still got the company vehicle? I'm very confused now.
I was a little bit confused with that too.
As well, yeah. Okay.
Now, can you just kind of think about why that would? Because her whole thing is because this is her telling the story.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
She goes, something he did on the date completely, even though it's not his fault, it's not against what his job is or anything like this, but something he did,
Okay.
basically it was a no from her.
Okay.
They still went on the date,
Okay. Yeah.
but she was like, am I okay to feel weird about this? Day comes. He picks her up in a hearse.
I was literally gonna say, is it a hearse?
Oh.
And there's the body in
Okay.
it. Sure.
Okay. The what?
Yes.
Oh,
That's what they have to drop off. So they drop the vehicle back off to his work with the package.
No.
Auntie Nora
What? You legit? In the back?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I thought maybe he'd gone, dropped off, and he was coming back and
No,
doing it.
picked
Oh
her
my
up.
god!
Dropped off the vehicle with the contents, grabbed their stuff, went on and had the date.
Oh my god!
Thoughts?
I don't see anything wrong with it.
God, yeah.
All a good
dark.
time.
Very
Now-
dark. Okay, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with his job,
Yeah.
No, of course
anything
not.
like that. I just feel like minor details should have been
Yeah, I kind of
included.
But why? Why does he have to pick her up in the hearse if he's getting his car from his job anyway?
Could
Why
have been
can't
like a location thing. So it's just like instead of going from C to A, you're just going A to B.
Oh, so he's
B to
lazy.
C.
He's lazy.
It sounds like he's lazy. He's like,
Sounds lazy.
I could go back and get my car.
It was a
Or I
time.
could just
It was a
pick her up.
time management
Or I could
issue.
just pick her up on the way and just leave the body in the
It
car.
was a time management issue, like going, boom, grab her, drop that off, date.
Time management issues still a red flag as well.
Yeah, this is, not okay for me. This is not okay.
Like I said, there's nothing wrong with his job or anything else.
No,
People
his
have to
job's
do
Where
that.
fine.
is he on the crazy hot scale? That's the
Yeah.
because it's pretty
It's
crazy.
crazy.
I don't know what
Unless
these
he's
people
some
look like,
supermodel.
or I don't know what they look like or anything like this. But I think the red flag is that you need to disclose if you're picking someone up in a hearse with
Yeah,
a body on the back.
absolutely.
Yeah.
With a body.
Oh yeah, and she's gonna drive. She's gonna be in the car. Oh my god, yeah.
It's a
Oh,
great conversation piece.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's definitely a conversation opener. But I wouldn't be getting
But
that car.
if I was that family, I'd be pissed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine they found out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, so you're just gonna date while friggin' Aunt Nora's in the back there? Okay.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine. That guy's got balls. Like what a.
And it was like there was another one that they went for a first, the different couple went for a first date in a cave, like so they explored a cave, but then they got trapped or something.
Were they like spelunking?
Yeah, the spelunking where they go into caves and they go into like you got to go down and you go and some of it is like tight. It gets like difficulty levels. Like you can go like beginner ones and it's quite easy to go down and down.
So I don't know about the intricacies of all the details.
Yeah.
But it's just like they got trapped or something, and then they made it out by the morning. That's weird, eh?
It's a
Like-
weird date, but unless it's
And then
You remember?
yeah, and then
You remember
like,
that?
so basically he goes, look, I know obviously this wasn't planned, and it was definitely an experience, but I do like you, and I would like to. Would you be interested in having another date? And she goes, it's probably one of the most terrifying nights of my life, but sure.
it would be an experience. Like yeah, getting stuck would be. I don't know. It would be an experience. I mean, I'm assuming he stayed with her the whole night and didn't leave her.
It's
Just
weird,
sitting in
eh?
the hole. So weird.
Our first
Yeah.
date, let's go explore a cave and then get like.
Well, depends. If that, on Tinder and it's like we're an adventure sporty couple, maybe it makes sense. But like, it's a weird
It was their
first date.
first time.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
weird
both
first.
of their first
Yeah,
time.
it's a
Which
weird
then
first
leads
date.
into this next one.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm loving the segues.
Yeah.
So this teacher was like, says to his colleagues, "Oh, I've got a date. I met this girl on Tinder. I've got a date, and it seems like the typical one that doesn't really get dates too often, so to speak, because they're like, oh, good for you, right? Yada yada yada. But here's the weird part, right? So obviously, he tells the students that he's going on a date, and they're I don't know how old they are. They must have been like young, like 6 or if not younger. And he goes, oh, for a fun idea, can you draw a photo of us? Draw like us two together with like good luck or something like this. And apparently he printed out the photo of her Tinder profile
Oh
for
god.
them to use, and all the kids were like drawing him and her together with like love hearts, and then writing Mr. and Mrs. whatever his name
Yeah.
is. And then he showed up on the date with like 30 bits of paper. So obviously he's going for this like cute idea. Yeah.
It was just an original idea, and like it was like even it was just like stick people because they're so young.
Yeah.
That would be alright. That would kind of be alright. Cute. I get it. He's going for the teacher. I'm a teacher. These are students wishing us luck, not love hearts and Mr. and Mrs. whatever his name is.
Mm.
But an actual photo, that's creepy. Weird. That's
Like he printed that out.
That's
So
weird.
then they could have something to base their drawings on.
no, that's it.
Weird.
That's a red flag.
Because apparently,
I'm not into that.
That's weird.
she had organised a safety call to
Yeah.
happen within the first
Yeah.
bit of the date
Sure.
to say the work thing. So then he bailed. But apparently, she's like, "Oh, work emergency, yada yada yada. I have to leave. I'm really sorry." And he starts crying because he could tell that it was a bailout.
Yeah.
And then she has to sort of comfort him, and it was just
That's weird. That's these stories are great.
Yeah.
They're bloody weird.
I'm loving this new podcast. I found.
Yeah, I'm
This is
very
some
caught off
great-
guard by all of these men.
Yeah, these are some weirdos.
And I'm like, oh, because sometimes when I'm listening to this podcast, it's always very up and down. Because sometimes I'll be like, because I binge podcasts because I'm in a truck, so I'm constantly in and out. I'm driving distances, so it's easier for me to listen to podcasts instead of the radio and whatnot. And then I'm driving along, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, "Hey yo, what do you mean that happened? What do you mean?" Just absolutely crazy.
It's crazy.
Oh, but of the three, who's the least least creepy, least scary?
Right, so if you had to pick a date for somebody, Hearst driver,
It's gonna be the second
the
one. yeah.
cave,
You're getting in the cave.
you're
You're
stuck in the cave.
spelunking.
Yeah,
No, 'cause-
first time date,
yeah.
first time meeting, first date, getting stuck in a cave with them, or the bring 30 bits of paper.
I'm getting in the hearse.
Really?
I'm getting in the hearse.
Because my only thinking is with the second one is like it must be in a date they plan together and they're like, oh yeah, well, I'm adventurous and outdoorsy.
Yeah.
I like that sort of stuff. Let's do something like that. You know, let's not go on a normal dinner date. Let's go do something outside. We like that sort of stuff. That's my only thing is that if that is that date. While it did turn a disastrous corner and get stuck in a hole in the cave. Yeah, that's terrible. But like, I ain't getting in the car with a dead body. And I don't want to mentally challenge T-shoes going around crying and with 30 pictures of my Tinder date with Mr. and Mrs. Gimp. That's for an example. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not having. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not. That's none. So I'll go in second, thinking that they're both outdoorsy people. It's my yourself.
Because I always thought, because when I see people's profiles, they're hiking. I'm like, that would be a very cool thing. Like, go on a hike, get to know each other. But then I forget that it's still stranger danger. Because I've been on the internet for so long in the form of like professional gaming or streaming and stuff. I don't really have that filter of stranger danger, right? Like, it's just a little bit of the anonymity. I forget about it. Or especially being a guy, because the guy, like, it's very different to being a girl online. And because I'm just like, oh yeah, that would be very cool. But then I take a step back going, I don't really want to suggest a walk in the woods as a first date. Just seems a little bit of a red flag. But
how do we know that the guy in the cave didn't cause them to get stuck just to see what their survival skills were like?
exactly, it's all
yeah,
for
we don't know.
Again, that seems more like a second date
Might
thing,
have to
doesn't
try
it?
though.
Yeah.
I mean,
You might lock in that second date.
the
might
out of
look
the
at that
3
second-
dates, probably the Hearst is the safest one. It's just the grossest one.
It's just pretty weird.
It's the
It
safest.
is.
one.
It is safe. It's just I'm cute ride while you pick up my car.
Alright, so quick loser moments. Biggest loser moment that we have to add. Gimp, is it true that you still live in Melbourne?
Yeah. So when I was 10 to about 20, I lived in Victoria.
Let's just get away from that. So you used to live in Melbourne. You brought one jumper for a 4-day Melbourne trip.
Yeah, in winter. Well, yeah, pretty much.
That's
winter.
crazy.
Well,
Loser!
I could only think when I was packing that I just got to the jumpers and I was like, I'll grab that one. Because I was just grabbing things. Like, it's the day before or the day of we're traveling and, I'm a classic guy. I'm just packing on the day. And I'm just grabbing things, for, 5 undies, 3 shirts, 3 pants, whatever. And I must have got the jumpers and I thought I must have grabbed more, but I didn't. One jumper. And it's my Pokemon jumper, which is sick jumper. Great jumper.
Right.
But
Because we were planning,
can't
we're
remember
going to wear them on the
Sure.
same day.
Yeah.
Blue versus red, it would have been great. But no.
No. I give it to
I literally gimped it. So it's a big fat L for the Gimp this week.
I'm glad Gimp came because people now know why I call him the Gimp.
Yeah.
They accept him being the Gimp now.
Yeah.
Because he was the Gimp on the trip. So
Yeah. People understand it's not really like it's not.
not being mean.
It's not
He
being
just does
mean.
Gimp like
I
things.
just do Gimp like things, and that was one of them. That was quite hilarious. But it did turn into better loser moments. You know, me and bro went and got a nice new jumper.
Did some shopping and whatnot.
Doing some shopping, and then I got to meet a certain
Alright.
cosplayer in your blue
Yeah.
shirt. It was great.
Anyways, moving on, because we're wrapping this up. Loser moments. So another loser moment. Got COVID. Moving on. Loser moment.
Walter left.
Walter left. Loser moment. Bros on work trips. Another loser moment. Someone's stealing my money. So apparently my pay ID. This guy has been paying my money into my pay ID for like the last 3 months for like paying for this and whatever else, or just chipping in for. And then his part of the apartment. I'm like, bro, you haven't paid me nothing. Hang on, I've received no money from you for like the last 3 months. And then apparently, so some account is attached to my pay ID.
Yeah.
So I'm missing like $600 plus.
It's $600
So
dollars.
so the bank's exploring it. Lose them a bit. But yeah, I'm feeling like these new episodes can really take off, and it's a lot of fun. And
We'll certainly know. I'll see if we get some opinions back, and we're really looking forward to some feedback. So slide into the T4ble DMs and let us know some feedback and see if you boys, hope everyone enjoyed it. Because we had a great time. Great time with Mitch. You enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, I've enjoyed being here.
That's good.
It's been good.
all right, thank you.
All right.
Get out of here, you losers.
Yeah.